All right, strap yourselves in, deep divers, because today we're going full hyperdrive into the wild world of Star Wars memorabilia.
I'm talking about the kind of stuff that'll make you say, wait, that actually happened.
Right. Our source this time is an audio clip called Nine Amazing Things You Didn't Know About Star Wars Memorabilia. And let me tell you, it's packed with stories you won't believe.
It's really fascinating to see how these seemingly ordinary items become symbols of a much bigger story.
Exactly, like historical markers in a
Ah,
galaxy far, far away.
I like that. Historical markers.
Okay, so first up, we got to talk about the great toy shortage of 1977.
Oh, yeah, that was a wild one.
Imagine this. Kenner, the company that made Star Wars toys, they landed the deal just a month before the movie premiered.
Talk about cutting it close. I mean, nobody at the time could have predicted the absolute cultural earthquake Star Wars would become, right?
So when Christmas rolled around, Kenner was like, uh-oh, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
Instead of that shiny Millennium Falcon under the tree, a whole lot of kids unwrapped what's known as the early bird certificate package.
Oh, I remember those.
Basically a big IOU, right? A certificate promising the actual figures later, a stand teasing all the characters, a few stickers, and a fan club membership.
Talk about delayed gratification. What's funny is that cruel tease, as you called it, is now a collector's item worth serious cash.
No way.
Oh, yeah, mint condition. We're talking hundreds, even thousands of dollars.
It's wild, right? From disappointment to goldmine.
It shows you how these things become more than just toys. They're snapshots of cultural moments. Like, who would have thought?
Okay, get ready for this next one because it's a doozy. The initial plan for Yoda involved a monkey.
Hold on, a monkey.
Yeah, in a mask. Can you picture a little monkey trying to channel the wisdom of Yoda?
I mean, it's kind of hilarious, right?
It is, but apparently Lucas was worried about animatronics back then, thought they couldn't quite capture Yoda's essence, so they tried this unique approach.
Thankfully, it didn't pan out.
Right. I mean, there's a photo out there of the monkey in the Yoda mask, and let's just say it's more Halloween costume gone wrong than Jedi Master.
I can only imagine.
Apparently, the monkey actually ripped off the mask at one point. Makes you wonder how long that shoot would have lasted if they went with it.
Yeah, chaos on set.
Enter Jim Henson and designer Stuart Freeborn.
Thank goodness for them.
They created the iconic Yoda puppet we all know and love, brought to life by the incredible Frank Oz.
Absolutely legendary. And that puppet is worth a fortune today. The concept art alone sold at auction for over $27,000. Yoda's cane.
Don't tell me.
Over $42,000.
It makes you wonder what that monkey Yoda memorabilia would be worth today. Probably a lot for the sheer weirdness factor.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, from monkeys to something that shows just how much Star Wars changed during its creation. The early drafts of the screenplay.
Oh, you're talking about the ones that read like a completely different galaxy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get this. Luke Staraker instead of Skywalker.
Sterler. Wow.
Han Solo. A green-skinned alien pirate's cabin boy working for Jabba the Hutt.
What? I never knew that.
And Chewbacca. A giant furry monkey creature.
Okay, things are getting weirder.
Buckle up, because it gets even wilder. R2-D2, foul-mouthed, speaking perfect English.
Yeah.
C-3PO, think sleazy used car salesman. The Force was even called the Bogan.
The Bogan, that's something else.
And the scenes. Hold on to your lightsabers. Imagine Han Solo punching Princess Leia in the face to shut her up.
Oh my goodness, that's so far from the Han and Leia we know.
Right. It's a wild ride through what could have been.
It really makes you appreciate how much Lucas refined and reshaped his vision. There's a raw energy in those early drafts, a willingness to experiment that ultimately led to the Star Wars we love.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that are worth a lot today, one of those early scripts, a 1975 second draft titled Adventures of the Starkiller, sold at auction for over $8,000.
Wow, talk about a piece of history.
Now let's jump to a story about an actor who wasn't initially sold on Star Wars, but made a brilliant move. Alec Guinness, who played Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, right. He wasn't exactly a fan of the dialogue, was he?
Famously so. He even called it rubbish in his letters.
It's interesting how even actors in iconic roles can have different perspectives on the material.
He even wrote about new rubbish dialogue arriving daily. All he looked forward to was the lovely bread, meaning his paycheck.
I guess even Jedi Masters need to pay the bills.
But here's the twist. Despite his reservations, Guinness was a savvy businessman. Instead of a standard salary, he negotiated for 2% of the film's gross profits.
That's some serious foresight.
Talk about lovely bread. Estimates suggest he earned over $95 million in royalties by the time he passed away in 2000.
Wow, that's a lot of dough for a role he wasn't thrilled about.
And there's a layer of irony to this, too. You know how Obi-Wan gets killed off in the first film?
Yeah, a pivotal moment.
Well, Guinness actually suggested it, said it would give the character more weight, but later admitted he just wanted to avoid saying lines he hated.
Oh, that's classic.
So Obi-Wan meets his end, leaving behind those iconic robes. And speaking of which, that very garment sold at auction in 2007 for $14,000.
It's amazing what a tangible connection to a beloved character can do.
Speaking of unexpected stories, let's talk about the ice cream maker guy from The Empire Strikes Back. You know, that blink and you'll miss him extra during the evacuation of Cloud City.
The one carrying what looks like an ice cream maker.
That's him. Fans have dubbed him Wilro Hood and even created a whole backstory.
It's amazing how fans can take the smallest detail and weave it into something bigger.
Right. The theory is he wasn't carrying ice cream, but a vital computer core filled with rebel data, risking his life as the Empire closes in. Unsung hero.
I love it. It's that fan passion that keeps these stories alive, you know? And it's not just fan theories. Kenner actually released a limited edition Wilro Hood action figure in 2009.
No way, that's awesome.
It shows how much fans can influence a franchise. And, you know, it really speaks to how the Star Wars universe is a collaborative effort, constantly being reshaped and reimagined by the people who love it.
All right, for our last story in this in part, let's dive into something that shows Lucas's rebellious side, the opening crawl controversy.
Oh, this is a good one. I love how those iconic crawls became such a point of contention.
Remember, Lucas wanted viewers to be pulled right into the story. No traditional credits, just that epic scroll into space with the John Williams score. But the Directors Guild of America, not so happy.
Yeah, they had strict rules about credit placement. In The Empire Strikes Back, Kirshner was the director, so his name had to be first.
Imagine a long credit sequence at the start of Empire. Lucas was like, absolutely not.
You have to admire his commitment to his vision.
It wasn't just about aesthetics. He saw that crawl as part of the Star Wars DNA.
A modern take on the silent film era's scrolling text.
Exactly. And the DGA didn't mess around. They threatened a $250,000 fine and even talked about pulling Empire from theaters.
Wow, serious consequences.
Lucas was furious, especially because they hadn't batted an eye at the crawl in the first film. Kirshner himself even said he didn't care about having his name at the beginning.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
So Lucas stood his ground, paid a $25,000 fine, and resigned from the DGA, and the Writers Guild too, who also weren't happy with him. The whole thing cost him $40,000.
That's a hefty price to pay for artistic integrity. But it shows you just how strongly he believed in his vision.
And you won't believe this, but the thing that cost Lucas $40,000 ended up being worth exactly that years later.
Wait, what? How?
In 2011, the Empire Strikes Back title crawl asset, the one that says, "It is a dark time for the rebellion," sold at auction for, you guessed it, $40,000.
You're kidding. That's incredible.
It's like the Force had his back, right?
Cosmic balance, maybe?
But this whole DGA thing had another consequence. Because Lucas resigned, he couldn't hire his first choice for Return of the Jedi, Steven Spielberg. The DGA wouldn't let him work with a non-member.
Talk about irony, right?
It's wild how one decision can ripple outwards like that. But hey, speaking of iconic directors, let's talk about Samuel L. Jackson and his path to becoming Mace Windu.
Oh, this is a classic tale of going after what you want.
Back in 1996, Jackson was on this British talk show, TFI Friday, and basically put out a casting call to George Lucas on live TV.
No way. What did he say?
He said, and I quote, "The film I'm chasing right now is the Star Wars prequel. I just want to get in a room with George Lucas and tell him I'm interested. I'll be Lando Calrissian's dad, Darth Vader's dad, Luke Skywalker's slave, anything. I just want to tell George Lucas I'll do it if he wants me."
That is so Samuel L. Jackson, bold and straight to the point.
And it worked. Lucas saw his passion, his energy, and offered him the role of Mace Windu.
The wise Jedi Master with that awesome purple lightsaber.
And that purple lightsaber is a story in itself.
Yeah.
Jackson specifically asked for it because he wanted his character to stand out.
Smart move. It instantly became iconic. You can't picture Mace Windu without it.
And get this. Jackson had his lightsaber engraved with the phrase, "Bad Mother-er."
Only he could pull that off.
It's like he brought a bit of his own swagger to the Jedi Order.
Definitely. And speaking of bringing your own flair, let's head to a place where Star Wars gets a visual makeover. Eastern Bloc Star Wars posters.
Oh yeah, these are wild. Forget the classic posters we're used to. These are like Star Wars through a distorted lens.
It's fascinating how cultural and political context can shape interpretation. During the Cold War, getting Western films in the Soviet Union and other communist countries was tricky.
Imagine having to design a poster for a movie you've barely seen.
Talk about a challenge.
They had to rely on a few stills, vague descriptions, and let their imaginations run wild.
And run wild they did.
We're talking giant robots with faces like vacuum cleaners, cowboys made out of computer parts, and Darth Vader's head exploding into a million pieces.
Sounds like a fever dream.
These weren't just posters, they were acts of creative rebellion.
Absolutely. A way to express individuality in a system that often stifled it.
And today, they're super valuable to collectors.
And it's incredible, right? They went from underground art to historical artifacts.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about those furry, divisive creatures from Endor. The Ewoks.
Yes, the teddy bears of the Star Wars universe.
They're either loved or hated, but they left their mark. Did you know Lucas originally envisioned the final battle with Wookiees?
Really? I never knew that.
He wanted it to be on Kashi, Chewbacca's home planet, but then he realized he'd created a bit of a problem.
What kind of problem?
Wookiees are supposed to be this primitive species, right? Living in harmony with nature. But Chewie is piloting ships, fixing hyperdrives, using all sorts of tech.
Ah, I see the issue.
It just didn't add up. So Lucas created the Ewoks to avoid contradicting the Wookiee lore.
And they became the furry face of the rebel victory on Endor. Interesting how a plot hole led to such iconic characters.
Right, and the name Ewok is inspired by the Miwok tribe, who are indigenous to the forests of Northern California, where they filmed those Endor scenes.
A nice little nod to real-world cultures.
It's funny, though, the Ewoks are super divisive. Some find them too cute. Others love their teddy bear with spears vibe.
I guess it's that mix of cuteness and warrior spirit that throws people off.
But whether you love them or hate them, they've left a mark on pop culture.
Oh, absolutely. The teddy bear look, their primitive weapons, that catchy victory song. And speaking of that song, Yub Nub, did you know it was composed by Joseph Williams, the lead singer of Toto?
Wait, seriously? Toto?
Yep, the same band that sang Africa.
No way!
And get this, he's the son of John Williams, the composer of the Star Wars score.
What a cool connection.
It's like a little piece of music history hidden within Star Wars. And speaking of valuable things, original Ewok masks and puppets go for big bucks at auctions.
Really?
Oh, yeah. A baby Ewok puppet sold for over $26,000 in 2011, and a screen-worn mask went for over $22,000 in 2010.
Wow. Even the most divisive characters can become valuable collectibles.
It's true, and it just shows you the enduring power of Star Wars to capture our imaginations, whether it's for the heroes, the villains, or even those furry little creatures from a forest moon.
So there you have it, just a glimpse into the incredible stories behind Star Wars memorabilia. We've gone from monkey Yodas to lightsabers with, shall we say, unique inscriptions, explored surreal posters, and even debated the Ewoks.
And it's just the beginning. We've got even more fascinating stories to uncover in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned, deep divers, because this journey through the galaxy far, far away is far from over.
Back in the cockpit, deep divers ready to explore more uncharted territory in the galaxy of Star Wars memorabilia.
It's amazing what we've uncovered so far, isn't it? Like, who knew there was so much to learn about the stuff that surrounds these films?
It's like peeling back the layers of a galactic onion, only instead of tears, you find fascinating stories.
I like that, a galactic onion.
And speaking of fascinating stories, remember our discussion about Samuel L. Jackson and that purple lightsaber of his?
Oh, yeah. That was a classic case of an actor knowing what he wants and going after it. I mean, declaring on live TV that you want to be in Star Wars.
That's bold. That's Samuel L. Jackson for you.
And it worked. He landed the role of Mace Windu, the wise and powerful Jedi Master, and thanks to his own request, wielding that iconic purple lightsaber.
I remember reading somewhere that he wanted to stand out during the big battle scenes, with all the other Jedi having blue and green lightsabers.
That makes sense. It's such a small detail, but it makes a huge impact. You instantly know who Mace Windu is.
Absolutely. It's become synonymous with his character. Now, you can't imagine Mace Windu with any other color lightsaber.
And then there's that inscription he had on it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah, the one that's a little bit too spicy to say on the air.
But one and only. It just adds another layer to his character, doesn't it?
A little bit of humor, a little bit of swagger. It's very Samuel L. Jackson.
And speaking of unique styles, remember those Eastern Bloc Star Wars posters we were discussing?
Oh, those were a trip down a very different kind of memory lane, weren't they?
It's incredible how artists in the Soviet Union and other communist countries had to work with limited information to create those posters.
I mean, imagine trying to capture the essence of a film you haven't even seen.
Right. They had a few stills,
Mm.
maybe some vague descriptions, and a whole lot of imagination.
And what they came up with was something truly unique. It's like Star Wars seen through a completely different lens, a mix of surrealism propaganda and a touch of psychedelic weirdness.
Seriously, giant robots with faces like vacuum cleaners, cowboys made out of computer parts, Darth Vader's head exploding into a million pieces. It's wild.
It's like they took the basic concept of Star Wars and filtered it through their own cultural and political context.
And you know what's fascinating? Those posters are now highly sought after by collectors. Some of them go for thousands of dollars at auction.
Talk about a grow up.
Yeah.
From underground art to valuable artifacts. It just shows you how these things can take on a life of their own.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about those furry little creatures that everyone seems to have an opinion about, the Ewoks.
Oh, yes. The teddy bears of Endor. You either love them or you hate them.
It's true. They're definitely one of the most divisive elements of the Star Wars universe. But did you know that Lucas originally planned to feature Wookiees in the final battle?
Really? Instead of the Ewoks.
Yep, he wanted the battle to take place on Kashyyyk Chewbacca's home planet. It would have made sense, given Chewie's role in the story.
So what happened? Why the change of plans?
Well, Lucas realized he'd written himself into a corner. Wookiees are supposed to be a primitive species, right? Living in harmony with nature. But then you have Chewbacca who can pilot a spaceship, fix a hyperdrive, and operate pretty much any weapon you hand them.
Ah, I see the problem. He's a little too advanced for a primitive species.
Exactly. It created a bit of a continuity issue. So Lucas came up with a solution, the Ewoks. They became the furry face of the rebel victory on Endor.
And it solved his Wookiee problem. It's funny how a plot hole can lead to the creation of such iconic characters.
Right. And the name Ewok is actually inspired by the Miwok tribe, an indigenous group from the forests of Northern California where they filmed those Endor scenes.
That's a cool little detail, a connection between the real world and the galaxy far, far away.
But as we were saying earlier, the Ewoks are definitely a point of contention among fans. Some people find them too cute, too childish for a Star Wars film.
I get it. They definitely bring a different tone to the story, a bit more lighthearted and whimsical. But I think that's also what makes them interesting. They represent a different side of the Star Wars universe.
But let's be honest, they were incredibly effective in taking down the Empire.
Don't underestimate the power of those teddy bears with spears.
Speaking of teddy bears and spears, remember that catchy victory song they sing at the end of Return of the Jedi?
You mean Yub Nub?
The one and only. Well, prepare to have your mind blown because that song was composed by none other than Joseph Williams, the lead singer of Toto.
Wait, seriously? Toto as in Africa. Toto.
Yep. It's one of those random but awesome pieces of trivia that makes you appreciate the interconnectedness of pop culture.
That is wild. And to think it was hidden right there in plain sight all these years.
And get this, Joseph Williams is the son of John Williams, the legendary composer of the Star Wars score. Talk about a family affair.
That's incredible. It's like a secret layer of Star Wars history. And you know what else is a secret layer of history? Those original Ewok masks and puppets. Some of them have fetched insane prices at auction.
Really? How much are we talking?
A baby Ewok puppet sold for over $26,000 in 2011, and a screen-worn Ewok mask went for over $22,000 in 2010.
Wow. Even the most divisive characters can become valuable collectibles.
It's a testament to the enduring power of Star Wars and its ability to capture our imaginations. No matter what your opinion is on the Ewoks, there's no denying their impact on pop culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They become a symbol of the underdog's triumph and a reminder that even the smallest creatures can play a big role in the fight against evil.
And that's a message that resonates with audiences of all ages. Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on one more story that highlights George Lucas's commitment to his artistic vision.
You mean the opening trawl controversy?
That's the one. It's a fascinating example of how a seemingly small detail can become a major point of contention.
Remember, Lucas wanted viewers to be pulled straight into the story. No traditional opening credits, just that epic scroll into space with the John Williams score.
But the Directors Guild of America, they had other ideas. They insisted on having the director's name front and center as per their regulations.
Yeah, and Lucas wasn't having it. He saw those opening crawls as integral to the Star Wars experience.
Yeah.
A modern take on the silent film era's scrolling text.
It was more than just credits. It was a narrative device, a way to set the stage and immerse the audience in the world he created.
And the DGA didn't mess around. They threatened a hefty fine. and even considered pulling The Empire Strikes Back from theaters if Lucas didn't comply.
It was a battle of wills, a clash between artistic vision and industry standards.
Lucas ultimately stood his ground, paid the fine, and resigned from both the Directors Guild and the Writers Guild.
Talk about a power move. He was willing to risk his standing in Hollywood to protect his vision.
And you know what's crazy? The very thing that cost Lucas $40,000 ended up being worth exactly that amount years later.
Wait, are you serious? How is
Well,
that even possible?
in 2011, the original Empire Strikes Back title crawl asset, the one that says it is a dark time for the rebellion, sold at auction for, guess how much?
$40,000.
You got it. It's almost as if the Force itself intervened to right the wrong.
It's a testament to the enduring legacy of Star Wars and the power of these objects to connect us to the stories we love.
It's incredible to think that something that caused so much controversy could become such a treasured artifact.
And it reminds us that value is often subjective. What might seem trivial to one person could hold immense meaning to another.
It's all about the stories behind these objects, the context they provide, and the emotions they evoke.
Absolutely. They're not just things. They're portals to a galaxy far, far away. A reminder of the power of imagination and the enduring legacy of Star Wars.
All right, deep divers time to fire up those hyperdrives one last time as we wrap up our exploration of Star Wars memorabilia.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has. We've uncovered some amazing stories and learned so much about the objects that surround this beloved franchise.
It's like we've been on a scavenger hunt through the galaxy far, far away, unearthing hidden treasures and uncovering the secrets behind those iconic items.
Exactly. And you know what's been really cool for me? It's seeing how these objects aren't just about collecting. They're about connecting with the stories and characters that have touched so many lives.
Absolutely. They're tangible reminders of the power of imagination and the enduring legacy of Star Wars. And speaking of enduring legacies, remember our discussion about George Lucas and his battle with the Directors Guild of America over those opening crawls?
Oh yeah, that was a classic showdown between artistic vision and industry standards. It's amazing how a seemingly small detail like that could cause such a big rift.
It shows you how deeply Lucas cared about his vision and how far he was willing to go to protect it. I mean, resigning from both the Directors Guild and the Writers Guild, that's a bold move.
He truly believed in the power of those crawls to set the stage and draw the audience into the story. He saw them as a modern-day equivalent of the scrolling text used in silent films.
It was more than just a stylistic choice for him. It was about creating a specific experience for the viewers, one that immersed them in the world he had created.
And remember, the DGA didn't mess around. They threatened a hefty fine and even considered pulling The Empire Strikes Back from theaters if Lucas didn't comply.
It was a high-stakes gamble for Lucas, but he ultimately decided that his artistic integrity was worth more than any financial penalty.
And what's even more incredible is that the thing that cost him $40,000 ended up being worth exactly that amount years later.
You're talking about the original Empire Strikes Back title crawl asset, right? The one with that iconic line, "It is a dark time for the rebellion."
That's the one. In 2011, it sold at auction for, you guess it, $40,000.
It's almost poetic, isn't it? Like the Force itself intervened to balance the scales. The very thing that caused him so much trouble ended up becoming a valuable piece of Star Wars history.
It's a reminder that value can be subjective and that the stories behind these objects are just as important as the objects themselves.
And you know what else is fascinating? The fact that this whole controversy with the DGA ended up preventing Lucas from hiring his first choice for director of Return of the Jedi.
Steven Spielberg.
The one and only the DGA wouldn't allow Lucas to work with a non-member, which is kind of ironic considering Spielberg went on to become one of the most celebrated directors of all time.
It just goes to show you how these decisions can have ripple effects that extend far beyond the immediate situation.
It's like a butterfly flapping its wings in one part of the galaxy and causing a storm in another.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Star Wars memorabilia, we want to leave you with a final thought to consider.
What objects from our lives today will become tomorrow's treasures?
It's a great question, right? What seemingly ordinary items will one day hold historical significance? What stories will they tell about us, our passions, and the world we live in?
The things we collect, the items we cherish, they're more than just objects. They're reflections of who we are and what we value. And just like the pieces of Star Wars memorabilia we've explored, they have the power to connect us to something bigger than ourselves.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through the galaxy far, far away. We hope you've enjoyed exploring the stories behind these fascinating objects.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover some hidden treasures of your own lurking in your attic or basement.
May the Force be with you always.